Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another video on the MLB free agency is about to start on Thursday. So we're gonna predict, the top free agents, where they're gonna be going here with our MLB expert. So let's get started, Andrew. We're gonna start with, Aaron Judge. Where do you think the big boy, the big guy, record-breaking home run will go?
There's several options. Here's the thing. With all these free agents, we really don't know like for sure where they're going. You can say like for Aaron Judge, you could say, okay, he's gonna go to the Giants because he's from NorCal.
Mhm.
That happens, but sometimes it doesn't happen. So you can't really like fully determine a player going to there based off where they lived, where they grew up. For this case, I think that rule applies. I think New York will figure out some way to get him. It just depends on how competent Brian Cashman is, but I think there's some chance that he'll come back for the Yankees.
Mhm.
Contract wise, I'm not sure how it's gonna be because we're we don't know how much they're gonna offer, but I'm gonna guess like 7 years, like somewhere 250 range, like a little bit probably above that, like 35, 36 milli a year.
So you think he's gonna stay?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to agree with you on this one. I think Aaron Judge does end up staying. I'm not very confident, as a fan in Brian Cashman to get this deal done. In the past, he has been, well, in recent history, he has been very cheap, with the Bryce Harper and Machado, instead sticking with Andujar and Frazier. So I'm just gonna say he's gonna stay just because Judge has been saying he wants to stay. And I believe we're gonna end up paying him because he couldn't have played any better than he played this year. So, except the postseason. I know people attack him on the postseason stuff, but regular
I
season,
mean, a lot of people didn't do that well, so
yeah,
you can't dog them on that.
that is true. But without Judge, we don't make the postseason. So I always give him a pass for this year.
Yes, yes.
But anyways, this, leads us to our second guy, Jacob deGrom, arguably the best well, he is the best pitcher in free agency. And, the Mets just spent a lot of money on Edwin Diaz. Do they do the same with deGrom?
I think so. I would think so because they have, of course, they have the money and they have the dude that's willing to spend the money for that. I keep hearing like you see all the reports out there. They're saying, oh, he's connected to the Braves in some fashion. Which, if the Braves do get him, that's a good pickup. I mean, obviously, it's a good pickup, but it's just a matter of do the Mets just go all out, give him a 4 year, 185, like even that extra 5 million. You never know if that will sway his opinion to stay with the Mets, stay with not. There's also reports saying he just straight up doesn't want to be with the Mets. Um, so I'm going to lean towards he's going to leave the Mets. I'm guessing, I'm going to guess Braves, but who knows? I'm going to
You
guess
know,
Braves though.
I actually agree. I think he's going to the Braves. He is from, around that area, and I believe he's going to end up going there. A rival team. We're going to see Mets fans, as we know, like Frank the Tank, be extremely mad, and everyone's going to say he was right. And I think he is right in the situation because DeGrom will probably end up going to a division rival with the Braves. And, we'll see how that goes. This year they were one of the favorites to come out of the NL, and they get destroyed by the Phillies. And now we'll see what they do with the free agency. They got Swanson as well, but that leads us to another big time free agent, shortstop Trey Turner. Andrew, he played for your Dodgers. Where do you think he ends up? Non-biased.
It, Here's the thing with this too. There's leaks that saying he wants to go to the Phillies, but I've heard free agency say they want to go to different places. There's been contracts, thrown to, I mean different players are like, oh, they're for sure going to this place, then they don't, and they like go a completely different direction. So the Phillies make the most sense because their shortstop, I think it's Bryson Stott, I believe it is.
Yeah.
It's yeah. I mean, if you get Trey Turner, you're obviously gonna, you know,
And then they
he's
just
not gonna play.
they declined Segura's option as well.
I don't know if Bryson Stott can play second, but I think that would be the most logical choice if it does, because Trey Turner, I don't want to say he outright did not want to play second base when the Dodgers traded for him last year,
Mhm.
but I think he was like, yeah, I'll do it just, for the time being. And you could tell he was uncomfortable doing it. Just his defense wasn't like up to par.
Mhm.
Um, so he's gonna go for sure where there's a shortstop, and like the best place you can think is the Phillies. And even with that, if the Phillies get him, they're an insane team. Insane.
Yep, they would be. But, at the end of the day, if you had to bet $1 million on where Trey Turner would end up, where would you say right now?
The Phillies.
Phillies, so far we're on the same page. I also agree. I think Trey Turner just doesn't want to be in the West Coast. I think he wants to go to the East Coast, and the Phillies makes the most sense. Other teams that could make sense, maybe Baltimore, they're in need of a shortstop. Maybe Boston if Bogarts leave. But I think the Phillies just makes the most sense. The Yankees aren't looking to get a shortstop. They're
Hmm.
relying on the kids. So I think the Phillies is the logical answer. Anyways,
Hmm.
that's gonna take us to our next guy, Carlos Correa. He's a free agent. Where do you think he goes?
I'm not gonna mention the name, but this one person's gonna be really happy that I'm gonna say this. I think he ends up being a Dodger. I,
Oh.
I there's more speculation from insiders
Mhm.
saying he's linked to the Dodgers in some fashion. Like we said, we don't know if it's true or not, but the reports are coming out that it's a good chance. And apparently, he's willing to take a similar deal to the Twins, like where there's opt-outs and you can be like, okay, you're basically a 1 year and you're gonna opt out if you think you can get more money somewhere else.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad with it. I think it's gonna take a lot of convincing from the fans. Uh, I wouldn't care that much if he joined the Dodgers, but I would. I ain't running to buy his jersey if he does. I'll just say that. I'm not
What if
gonna
he
run to.
brings you I mean, it's not a Super Bowl, a World Series championship? What would you do? Do you get a jersey if he's like
Well,
clutch?
yeah, yeah. If he wins us a World Series, then yeah. Yes, us.
Well, I'm actually gonna give you an oddball here with Correa. I think he's gonna go to Baltimore. I saw the same thing that Correa is willing to take a 1 year deal. And like similar how he took with the Twins with an option. And Baltimore, I saw the GM was saying that he was going to be very aggressive in trying to improve the squad and spending money. And I believe this could be a real good start to the offseason if they landed a superstar or maybe like a star, maybe not a superstar, in Carlos Correa, who has championship experience allegedly, point 0.5. And it could be a good service to them and a good move, but with your point saying that Correa to the Dodgers, that would be really interesting if he did. And would he play shortstop or third base?
100% he would play shortstop. He's a natural shortstop, I'm pretty sure. I want to say they were gonna put Vargas at third for a good chunk of it while they
Mhm.
phased JT out.
Mhm.
Um, so I think JT's gonna get less playing time at third, kind of like he did this year.
Mhm.
And Vargas might take over that spot, or we might, I don't know, we might trade for some guy that I don't know about. I don't know.
So you are trying to say that as well, implying that Justin Turner will resign with the Dodgers.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, we're doing this on a Wednesday, and then Thursday is the deadline to get either your contract, what is it, your option, accepted, declined, whatever.
Mhm.
Um, Currently there has been no decision made, and they said that a couple hours ago they haven't made a decision yet. But I think he'll re-sign uh eventually. I think he will. He'll end up being a Dodger for his last year.
Mhm. All right, that takes us up to our fifth guy. This guy's a shortstop as well from the Boston Red Sox formerly. Where do you think Xander Bogaerts goes?
Mm, I want to say he stays in Boston
Hmm.
for the sole fact is like he has Rafi Devers there.
Well, Devers could be on the move.
That is true, but if they sign Bogarts, I don't think they would.
Hmm.
Uh, Here's the thing. I wouldn't mind Bogarts on the Dodgers. And I know I just said Carlos Correa could be an option, but I think that's less of a likely I think that's less likely to happen
Yep.
than anything else. I think Bogarts could go to the Dodgers, but I think that's even less of a chance than Correa. So I think he will go to I, I want to say Seattle is a good option. I believe their shortstop is the
JP
Croft.
Crawford. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you get the chance to sign Bogarts over him, like you're gonna do it. I think that would be a good option because the Mariners, I think, are a few pieces away. Not just one, a few, but they have the potential to be good if they get a shortstop that will actually do something other than hit just singles.
Well, ironically, I believe that Xander Bogaerts will be a Dodger. I think
I
Trey Turner
hope.
leaves and
Ooh.
Xander Bogaerts ends up going to Dodgers because I don't think that you guys are that type of team to be like, no, we aren't going to spend. And I think you will be one of
Yeah,
the big spenders.
yeah.
And if Trey Turner leaves, you're going to go for a shortstop. And I see Xander Bogaerts leaving Boston. I think they're going to end up trading Devers. And I believe Bogaerts will be on the move and they're going to rebuild.
Yeah, they're gonna blow it up. I think that the thing is they have Hosmer because he opted into his 3-year contract,
Yeah.
so they're gonna have a for sure first baseman, even though it's Eric Hosmer.
Yeah.
It's something to build upon and get pieces, get Jeter Downs going, get a couple guys, process through the system.
Mhm.
It's gonna be interesting for that team because they could be a do nothing team. They could just be like, yeah, let's just screw it. Like let's just wait a couple of years and we'll figure it out then.
Yeah, I believe they're gonna blow it up though. It seems like they're bringing in a lot of kids, from the minor leagues to try and play in they got that Casas guy who, he's got a nice little bat when I saw him play a little bit. And I just believe they're gonna blow up the team. Xander Bogaerts, he's gone. He's not gonna stay. They didn't get right with him. They could have re-signed him a while ago. He wanted to
Mhm.
stay, and they just didn't give him the right money that he needed. And then I think the same thing with Devers. If they really wanted to lock him up for the future, they can get a deal done right now. But they're not. And I just see them trading Devers. Bogarts is gone. And yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. The Dodgers are going to be in need of a shortstop. I do not believe they are going to be, you know, doing
I
Gavin Lux as short. There's no way
nah.
to do that.
There the GM it was either Friedman or I forgot the GM's name. Because he's new. He's like new for the past year.
Mhm.
And you don't hear much about him. Uh but I heard something there was some quote from the meetings, the GM meetings saying like they're gonna want to try to get some of the young guys playing,
Yeah,
but I don't see any position where the Dodgers are like, hey, you have multiple good free agent shortstops. You got Trey Turner, you got Correa, you got Bogarts, who are all proven, regardless if
Swanson as
one
well.
cheated. All of them are proven.
Hmm.
So there's no position where I think you don't get a really good, stab at one of them. And you could say Aaron Judge, but I think it's a long shot. But regardless, I don't think there's any position where you like just sit back and just like kick your feet and be like, okay, we're just gonna play James Outman in the outfield. We're gonna go have Miguel Vargas at third exclusively and whatever.
Well, that thing about what that I saw about the Dodgers are going to be heavily interested in Judge. I do think there's going to be interest in all,
You
but
who wouldn't be? If you're a contending
yeah.
team, you would have to show interest. If you're not doing your due diligence.
Exactly. But I just think when it said they wouldn't be offering Trey Turner like a contract in order to do that, I think they're already like dealing with the fact that Turner is gonna go to an East
Yeah,
Coast team.
yeah.
And they're like, if he leaves, that's most likely gonna happen. they'll probably have a conversation. Do you want to stay? And if he says no, I want to leave, then they just wouldn't offer him a contract. And then they look at Aaron Judge. And if Aaron Judge wasn't an option, then I'm sure they'd go spend on a Bogarts, Correa, Swanson guy. There's no way the Dodgers are quiet
Or
this
Willie
offseason.
Adames.
Yeah, or they could trade for Adames. Apparently, the Brewers are open to trading Adames and Corbin Burns. So, I mean,
Yeah,
that could
get it
be
done.
something. But this leads us to our next guy, pitcher, Justin Verlander, who just won the World Series. Where does he go? He's a free agent.
Oof. It's a tough one because we don't know how much longer he has to play,
Well,
or
he
he
said
has in the or
April
he has in the tank.
25.
I'll say that
Okay.
because he can pitch like a Scherzer, where he can pitch. He can get another. I think it was 3 or 4 year contract, and he's probably gonna win the Cy Young. I forgot who's the other like possibility, but
Dylan
he's
Cease
yeah, Dylan
and
Cease.
the other one, it wasn't Otani. It was someone else.
I think it might have been on top.
No, it wasn't Otani.
Regardless, I think Justin Verlander is gonna win it. Just because they've been hyping him up, so it's and Dylan Cease never gets the credit that he deserves. So I see him taking a 1 year. I think he might run it back. I
Hmm.
might as well. If you don't, you would go to Mariners, get a 1 year, try to win a chip over there. But I don't think you would want to do that. I think you just want a chip. You're probably gonna do 1 more year.
Yeah.
You're I forgot how old he is, but he's getting up there in age.
Yeah,
So
he's getting older.
I think he stays with the Astros 1 year, give him like I don't know, 35 or like 30 mil or whatever.
Well, what do you think about the Yankees possibly being in play yet again? Because they were reportedly in play last year. And another team that I think could be on the lookout to sign them could be the Rangers, who, I think you know very well that they just got a recently hired a veteran, well-respected pitching coach in order to attract, some big names. Do you think Verlander any shot goes to the Rangers?
Mm-mm. I mean, it's a good move if they do. I don't see him signing with another Texas team other than the Astros.
Hmm.
Uh, I they just traded for Jacob Rizzi, so that's
Hmm.
another righty they have in there. So I mean, I don't really know their pitching staff too well, but I think it's Martin Perez. They're probably gonna do Odo Rizzi now. They have
Didn't they have?
John Gray,
Yeah,
and I don't know the possible other two.
it's not too good.
It's not good regardless. So you could make a move for that, but I don't know. It kind of just depends on are they going to go full in right now or are they going to wait another year?
Yeah, well, I believe he's gonna stay. They just won the World Series. There's no way he leaves, in my opinion. And I'm sure they're gonna take care of him on a 1 year with an option. And he'll probably, if he does well, he'll just, get out of the option. If he does bad, then he'll, opt in. But
Yeah,
anyways,
good point.
that moves us into our next pitcher, who is, very, very
Mm.
sought out by, the pitching market, and that is Carlos Rodon. Where do you think he goes?
I don't think he resigns with the Giants. They tried to trade him, and obviously he was kind of like downtrodden, or he didn't like seem. He seemed kind of sullen when he was about to get traded, and obviously he didn't.
Mhm.
I don't know if his connections to the team are that strong. Obviously I didn't watch like their games except the ones they played against the Dodgers, so I don't really know his position on the team. It's looking like he's gonna move on. I I'm not gonna lie. If the Yankees pick him up, I think that's a really good option because you got Montez, which is shouldn't be in the starting rotation, which
Garbage.
I'm gonna I guarantee you he probably is at some point.
Yeah.
Um, but if you get him, your starting rotation is godly.
It
It's really good.
the Montez thing pisses me off to this day, but I would love to get Rodon. Don't get me wrong, but to be honest, I don't see us signing him. I believe
Me
if
neither.
we end up
But
strengthening the
actually,
pitching,
hmm
well, it's because the reason we won't sign him is because Brian Cashman is so full of pride and he wants that Montas trade to work and he thinks contract year he's gonna be really good. And that's what I believe is gonna end up happening. But there's also rumors that Gleyber Torres, since this is his last year, could be traded and he could be traded for like a pitcher. Last year he almost got traded for Pablo Lopez. I think maybe a similar situation could happen now that we have Peraza, Volpe coming up. We have Cabrera, all of them can play second base. So and then DJ LeMayu as well, and we're stuck with Donaldson. So I don't see Rodon being a Yankee. And yeah, but this moves us to the next one, Swanson. Where do you think he goes?
I think he stays with the Braves. Um, if the thing is like with Trey Turner, we predicted Philly, but he could technically, if he really wanted to, if they wanted an upgrade, which it's definitely an upgrade, but I don't think it's as big as an upgrade as like some people think.
Yeah.
Um, it to preface, like he obviously is a better player, but Swanson is close. Like it's not like a huge astronomical difference. So I see the Braves leaning towards Swanson. They could make a run at Trey Turner. It seems like they're going to go all in, especially when they traded for Olsen last offseason. So I think he stays, but it could change to maybe the Phillies or something like that type of role if Trey Turner signs elsewhere.
Yeah, I think he's gonna stay as well. I don't see Trey Turner being much of an upgrade as well. They're both very similar, have similar careers. And I don't see a reason why they don't really extend them. There's no way they really get like it's kind of a risk
I
because
think
they're
it's
like, no, what's
re-signing. It's not
Swanson?
extending because extending you would be
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. He's
yeah,
like if he signs back.
yeah, yeah.
And I think it's a more of a risk if you're like, you know what, Swanson, we're gonna look elsewhere and we're gonna go for Trey Turner all in, and he doesn't, then you're stuck with no shortstop, and what you're gonna get? Who?
They could do a Brave situation just like they did with Freddie Freeman. Like, you know, they could screw the deal up and they'd be just like, hey, Swanson's gonna go to another team and you have to be like, oh, we gotta, get someone else. And they like try to sign Trey Turner at the last second, or maybe try to get a Correa. You never like something like that.
Yeah, yeah. But I see them just like they learned their lesson. They're gonna re-sign him. That's what I see it as. But that moves us to the next one, Brandon Nimmo, former Met. Where does he go?
I'm just gonna be straight up. He's probably just gonna stay with the Mets. They're gonna offer him what is like projected like 5 years, 100 million. Just stay with the Mets. I mean, they're giving out money, so just stay.
Well, I would agree, but I did see the Rockies are already like I already saw all the Rockies are gonna offer him like a 5 year 120 or something like that.
Which is weird because that doesn't move the needle for them at like really at all.
It is
So
true.
it's the same thing with like Chris Bryant. Like you sign him and you don't make any other moves. So are you gonna
Yeah.
make one move in off season?
It doesn't make sense, but I believe, that's an absurd amount of money for a guy like Brandon Nimmo, who is good, but I just think 5 years 120 is too much. But he's gonna end up being a Rocky, for him, he's gonna have better stats, you would think. It didn't work out for Chris Bryant, but you go to a
He's injured
hitter,
though, so you can't blame
yeah.
him on that.
But he goes to a hitter-friendly ballpark and he's gonna get a ton of money. And maybe the Rockies make more moves. Probably not, because I don't see them in a position where they're a few players away from contending like the Mariners and other teams.
Uh,
But I think he just takes the money and runs.
don't blame
But
him too.
yeah, but this moves us to Wilson Contreras, who was almost traded in the deadline. Now he's a free agent. Where do you think he goes?
I I have two ideas because I want to say Giants, but
Hmm.
I don't know the Mariners situation at catcher too
It's
well.
uh Cal Raleigh, I think that's how you say
It's
it.
possibly I don't know. I think it makes more sense for the Giants because they lost Buster Posey. Um, uh, Joey Bart made some strides, but he still wasn't like insanely good. Uh,
Joey Bart, you're gonna talk down on
Joey Bart's
him?
not good. Joey Bart's not
Joey
good.
Bart is
If
gonna be one of the best catchers next year.
Yeah,
You
I
can
don't.
clip this. Joey
That's
Bart.
that's
I also thought,
He also
maybe
said that last year and he was not. So
he had some impressive strides. But let me say this about Joey Bart.
he got sent to
He is
AAA.
gonna be great. And the only way I see them signing him is, it's a two catcher league now, and maybe they want to have, both of them, and Contreras is gonna be on DH a lot, maybe, but they're locked in with Joey Bart. Come on,
I see him being kind of an Austin Barnes type of role where
Joey
he's
Bart.
yes. Dude, Wilson Contreras is a good catcher. He's a
Yeah,
World
but
Series caliber catcher. That
Joey Bart can easily develop into that.
all right, next one.
No, but I think he's gonna be a Cardinal though, just to be
That's actually a good
straightforward.
option. I didn't even think of that. I mean, they need it. That would be
Yeah.
that would be smart. I'm not gonna lie.
I think Yair Molina's gonna be retiring, and they can get a big name like Contreras, the best catcher on the board. Why not spend the money? You just made the playoffs last year. Looks like the Brewers are gonna go into rebuilding if they trade Adames and Corbin Burns. So it's their division to lose, if it looks like.
Yeah.
But anyways, that moves on to our next one, Anthony Rizzo. Where do you think he ends up?
What perplexed me last offseason was why didn't the Yankees sign him for more? And I was like, he should be at least like a Freddie Freeman type deal, I would
Mhm.
say. And he didn't get paid nearly as much as him. So I was confused by that. I I think this time around, and he deserves it because he hit tanks this past year. Uh, he should sign with the Yanks again. I think that kind of depends on. I think it kind of depends on how much Judge is going to get, to be honest with you, because I don't think Cashman's going to be like, hey, you know what? Let's just give Rizzo 5 years, 25 million a year. Then let's give Aaron Judge like 36 million, and you spend that much in the off season. It doesn't seem like this regime is it's like that.
Yeah, you are right in that sense. But I kind of say Rizzo's gonna be looking where Judge goes. If Judge leaves, he's not resigning. But if Judge stays, then I see him resigning.
I think it's tough because a Judge, and this happened in 2019. Judge could wait forever. The
Hmm.
same thing with Bryce Harper. The spring training already happened and he didn't sign. Machado, same thing. So we don't know if Judge is going to do this a similar tactic or whatever, tactic, quote
Yeah,
unquote. So we don't know about that, but yeah.
but I just think that's the way. If not, let's say Judge goes to the Giants. I think Rizzo would end up going to a team like the Padres. Would be a very, yeah, they need a first baseman if they don't re-sign Josh
Nah,
Bell.
yeah, they gotta get Josh Bell. Yeah, that's a great first baseman for them to have.
But I come on, Will Myers can't be rocking first base.
He's also not on the team anymore.
Yeah, yeah, but I think Rizzo would be a good move for them. He's also a lefty bat. And imagine having Rizzo, Tatis, Soto, Machado. That would be pretty nuts.
Yeah.
But where do you think he'd go though?
I think he stays with the Yanks. I mean, you can also, if Giants want to go all in, he can go with the Giants.
Hmm.
That would
Judge
kind of that would suck though.
Judge and
I,
Rizzo go to the Giants?
that's, I mean, it's a possibility. I, I
The
mean,
New York
who are they gonna
Giants.
have at first base? They're not gonna have Brandon Belt anymore. I think he's not on the team.
Mhm.
I'm not sure, but I mean, if they have the ability to sign Rizzo, they're gonna like say, "See you later, dude."
Yeah, yeah. Well, this leads us to a new, or not a New York Giant, a San Francisco Giant in Jock Peterson, former Dodger, former Brave, former Cub. Where's he go?
I think he is the starting left fielder for the Los Angeles Dodgers. I
This
truly
guy.
believe that. I truly believe. I think he can still be good.
Yeah, I think he's good.
I
He's
think he's
good.
still good. I don't know on his feelings about us trying to trade it. The Dodgers trying to trade him. In the offseason, I think it was 2020, like kind of during like the pandemic. I think they were trying to trade him around then.
Mhm.
I don't know how much that trade talks, you know, not scare him, but be like kind of off put him from the team.
Yeah.
But I think you do a 1 year and just like you get him in there again. Might as well. He's
What
gonna
do
be a
you
better option than Belly, hitting
what about
wise.
Potluck?
Pollock.
Pollock.
Um, oof. He could be right fielder when Belly doesn't play. Or no, no, I'm dumb. Center field,
Center field.
center field,
Well,
or they can switch, whatever.
I think Jock Peterson's a Yankee out of nowhere. He's going to be a Yankee. I personally believe that we're not going to get Benintendi. I do see, realistically speaking, I think we are more inclined to bringing back Benintendi because he hits per base average, and Jock Peterson's more of a home run or bust guy, but he gets hot in October, and that is something the New York Yankees struggle in. They don't have enough hitters that get hot in October. Really, this October it was mostly Bader and Rizzo, and that was it. Glaber was non-existent. Judge had the two home runs. Stanton was, he was all right, and everyone else was just trash, just garbage. And I think a guy like Jock Peterson could come in and really help us in left field. And I wouldn't be mad with Benintendi, but I think Benintendi's going to sign elsewhere. But I would be really happy if we got Jock Peterson. He does have an injury problem, but as long as he's there in October, that's all I care.
Yeah, it's I don't know. He could sign with. I think he's a valuable bat still. Defense wise,
Yeah,
but his bat's still there.
but it's Yankee Stadium. Left field isn't too bad to play in if you're bad at defense. And Castellanos, who was a cone, was making plays left, right, and center.
I think his
Out in
defense.
the
I'm not
outfield.
sure how his defense improved during the season, but the playoffs has certainly looked like it improved a lot.
Yeah, but this leads us to our last guy, Clayton Kershaw. Does he go elsewhere? Does he stay in LA?
I see no possible way that he leaves the Dodgers. There's no way he does it.
Mhm.
If he leaves, it's gonna be a shock because like he was linked to the Rangers. He even said in one of the like documentary type style things, Access Sportsnet Dodgers,
Mhm.
he said something about he had like a connection with them in some way, or he talked to the GM. So he has that communication with them. But he signed with us eventually, so I don't see him leaving. I think he ends his career with the Dodgers. Um, Contract wise, don't know because this could be like, hey, are you done after this year? He's like, yeah, okay, 1 year, 20 million. I don't know. He might not get a pay increase, but he was an all-star, so you could say 20 million a year.
So you think there's no chance he goes to a team like the Rangers, maybe the Giants, Mets?
Giants, no, and if you bet on the Giants, you're dumb. He would not sign with the Giants.
What about the Mets?
I don't see it.
Well, I'm gonna go out here on a limb and say Clayton Kershaw is gonna be a Dodger.
It's not out
I
on a limb.
Nah, I just wanted to think. I just wanted you to think I was gonna put
Oh
someone
my
else.
God, you're super smart.
No, but I think Kershaw, he's unfortunately considered a legend, and I'm gonna have to say he's a legend. I just don't like the Dodgers, you know me.
Unfortunately,
But he's a legend, and there's no way he doesn't stay with the Dodgers. I think if
I will cry.
anything,
I will lose my mind if he doesn't sign with the Dodgers. If he goes to like any like rival team, it's like instant like disappointment. Instant.
Clayton Kershaw, you are a Padre.
I would not.
Nah, but he's gonna stay. He doesn't seem like the type of guy to like snake your team or something like that.
Nah, he's a Christian man.
All right, but anyways, we're gonna end it here. Leave a like and subscribe for more videos and leave a comment down below on what you thought of our predictions and also show some love to Andrew down there. W's in the chat for Andrew. And any last words, Andrew, to end off?
The Dodgers will make a big splash this offseason. There's no possible way they don't.
Big splash. So I was gonna say this. New York Yankees 2023 World Series champions here. It is currently November 9th, 2022. Heard it here first. And when they win, it's gonna be crazy when I come back to this.
Was that Messi on your phone?
That's Smith Rowe. Don't ever disrespect me with Messi again.
See ya.
Later, guys.